Hey guys, this is Kyle with Beyond Bipolar blog. So I'm doing something a little different today. I'm actually going to be kicking off the Beyond Bipolar blog that mainly is my brother Travis's account, but I feel like it's kind of important to address. I've been actually mulling it over my head, but the reality is I actually haven't been feeling that great, and this video is actually going to be a slightly, I wouldn't say negative, but maybe a positive outlook in the end. The reality is I've been experiencing these really depressive feelings. I'd say since 2018, I don't know why I've been actually experiencing suicidal ideations. I don't know if in the past I ever experienced that it was more me getting angry at my brother for feeling that way. And it probably began in late 2018 after I got done working at Best Buy. And at the time, I really couldn't figure it out. I thought it was just because I just wanted friends to hang out with, or maybe I was feeling lonely. I don't know. And the irony is, it's hard to explain. I sometimes wake up, or I like throughout the day, I just feel this vice grip like around my soul, this pain that I can't, this hurt that I don't know why. And it's just sometimes when I'm it just it's intermittent, which is the irony. So right now I'm on Lexapro, sertraline, and I'm taking 5 mg and trazodone, which really does help me sleep. So I guess something what kind of broke it that in the end, am I a happy guy? I wouldn't say I'm that happy, to be honest. I don't know if it's the situation or if it's just my uh I just need to do a different lifestyle. So I guess what kind of broke it was after some gentleman, a Korean adoptee, kind of mentioned that kind of the stuff we do, and I made a citizenship video that was I thought was good. I mean, it got a perfect 100 from the client for her master's for a capstone project. But I guess I looked up to this guy. I thought he liked their videos, but apparently not. And I guess it kind of tumbled me. And in the end, I was thinking, wow, I do all this damn work. I love the interview process, and I'm talking about Korean adoptee stories. We interview a whole bunch of adoptee uh, people, which I really, really like and I enjoy. But I just hate the video editing process. It takes me forever. The last one I did, she offered to do a short order one, but she had such good content that I wanted to keep it. It's like I'm a battle between uh, I should make it easier on myself, yet I'm actually choosing the harder path for some reason. And I guess that I've been feeling like lonely, I guess. And I guess what also triggered that after me mulling over that, wow, I gotta like do a whole 180 here. Um, the reality is I'm not gonna change. I am who I am. I accept that, but I am willing to listen and step back because if someone really feels like I'm not the suitable guy for it, then that's fine. But at the same time, I want to have freedom to be who I want to be. And uh, my brother and I end up telling my brother that I've been actually having suicidality since 2018. And for the past maybe like 2 weeks, like I said, after we mentioned in our reaction videos about Jeremy and his suicide or supposed suicide and drug overdose, and I just think about dad and all the work he did with him. And in the end, dad, I felt like in my mind, dad failed him because he died. And I picture dad being there for us. And I imagine myself as Jeremy dying too for some reason. It affected me, honestly. And I thought about my ex, who that's another big part of it. Apparently, I've been working with a life coach. She thinks I'm codependent. I actually agree with that. I'm probably codependent most on my brother and my dad, and I'm trying to do other things that doesn't make me feel codependent, so I could prepare when dad dies, because that's the inevitable. And I kind of worry about me being sitting alone in this house and just the reality is I don't know if it's just unhappiness. I mean, after when I was working with this company called Guide as a nonprofit, that I remember he said I'm a really unhappy guy, and the reality is that's probably the truth. I can pretend to make this be this facade and be like screw around, but in the end, probably deep down there's some darkness that I'm dealing with. And I don't know if it relates to adoption issues, but in the end, it came up to the surface mainly because I wrote a post about it, and then Travis wrote a post about suicidality, and I'm gonna write what he wrote because I feel like it's actually a pretty good analysis. I don't know how he kind of figured it out. What made you figure that was kind of the issue?
Because you mentioned it to me.
Oh, I don't remember. But basically, Travis wrote, Kyle is feeling suicidal and it has to do with CAD stories, which is my big interview things that I really love interviewing, but I feel disappointment in the development, and it's largely because I feel like I put so much work and effort in these interviews. I sacrifice a lot of time, and when I look at it, I only see 15 views, and it just, I know there's a lot of big ego with it. I actually feel really bad about it, and I feel like it's almost pointless. I spend this much work doing something. I hate work. I don't like doing the editing, yet I feel like it's important, yet I don't want to do it. So there's this battle, and because of that, when that guy said that what I'm doing is unethical, I was thinking, wow, what the hell? Why am I suffering doing something it doesn't seem like I really enjoy doing? I mean, granted, it's weird. I hate starting projects, but when I get it, I get the ball rolling. But every time I start, I just feel like it's not an enjoyable process for me. So basically, my brother said that I need to step back and reevaluate my life. And I guess a lot of it is fear right now. I have a lot of anxiety. That means I got to find a job, go out there, and I have this fear that I got to be this morning guy. And I'll be honest, I hate the morning. I prefer second shift. And I know there's a lot of people saying quit being lazy, but I'm just a night owl. And there's a part of me that still says, why should I force it? And in the end, forcing it doesn't help anyway, because in the end, I just end up crashing and burning. So I feel like I have to let go of these creative endeavors. And when that guy kind of stated that, it kind of made me roll backwards. I had to talk with this life coach. In the end, these were feelings I've been dealing with for a while. And I guess the suicidality was for a while, maybe 3 years ago. I just never. It's ironic because so I have a vice. It takes like 3 weeks to do a video. Anyway, I feel like I don't know if I want to quit, but I just feel like I just need to do something different. My weekends have been brutal on me. I hate being in this house. I feel like I need to go out, do stuff with people, and I just feel isolated. And I guess what partly kind of caused this is I decided to block two people out of my life. One, a person already found a relationship, and I feel like what is she doing talking to me about her issues? I think she needs to talk to the actual guy, not me. And she's an adoptee. And the other one, my ex, who's a Korean adoptee, I realized that when I mentioned, I think she probably loves her ex anyway. So why is she coming back to me? Maybe I'm being used. And I guess there's a lot of self doubt in my psyche because one, I'm proud to say I may be crazy. I may have a mouth. I may be honest with what I say, and it may sometimes be hurtful. But one, I never physically hit a woman. Two, I never done drugs. Three, uh, yeah, those three. That's it. And it kind of made me feel bad that she's going back to this other guy. And I guess I don't really care about that she's going back to. She's not even dating me. I just feel like all that work I did just seems fucking pointless, to be honest. And I'm starting to think after cutting her off, I'm just feeling like I'm isolated in this little bubble. So because of it, this actually has pushed me to actually contact somebody. And I know a lot of people know, and it's weird. Here I am. I say that I'm an honest guy. In the end, when it comes to it, I'm not. I'm still a coward. I know there's people that say that here I'm a star. It's glad that I still talk about it, but I'm not gonna lie. I was still afraid calling people. I was afraid just I'm not as afraid telling. Well, my brother, I am kind of afraid because I don't want him to get going, and maybe it does kind of get him going a little bit. Same with my. I haven't even told my dad yet. I told my mom, but boy, that it felt like I was starting all over finding those therapists. Honestly, that same fear that I don't know that that process that I keep telling people that I insist that you got to speak out. You got to say how you feel. You got to be honest with yourself. And in the end, when it comes down to it, I'm again not honest. I'm blasting everywhere else, and and not facing the issue, unfortunately. That's kind of me. I'm kind of a passive aggressive until I just explode like a balloon or explode like a pressure cooker, which it has felt like. So what I have done is I want this title of this video is going to be I want to die, but the thing is, what am I doing about it? One, I admitted the issue. I was honest with it. I told my brother, who I felt like was safe enough, and he's the one who kind of exposed it, putting it on Facebook, and everyone, he seems to get more likes than me, so a lot of people have been reaching out to me, which I really appreciate, which actually has been helpful. But anyway, through their support, I decided just to call all these adoptee competent therapists. So since I'm an adoptee, we have issues that I feel like have to do with abandonment, with rejection, and it's to me, when I think about all those 4 relationships I've been, I'm gonna actually just briefly say what I learned. The very first one was the most toxic I felt for me, that I gave her hell to, that she was a Hmong girl, and the reality was I was really afraid of her leaving me. In the end, she did, and the reality is I was the one who caused it because I told her to go because I couldn't handle it. The reality is I might have, and I didn't even handle the breakup very well. I even made some pretty defamatory videos that was kind of inspired by books. We used to do this series called Angry Asshole Asian Twins, and it mixed comedy and this is really vile, uh, dark, and sometimes sick and depressing humor. But I kind of let that go. I blocked that. In the end, I wanted to say the second one, I did like her family. The first one, I couldn't stand the family. I felt like they were really controlling. I mean, they're traditional Hmong people, and and I always felt this anxiety whenever the daughter would come home or come to my house. I knew the mom didn't want her here, and I just felt like that pressure. And in the end, I felt again that pressure to be my own man, live my own life, work a job I hate, even though it's making me unstable. I'm not getting enough sleep. That pressure, that in the end I couldn't hold it, because in the end I remember she would say that then I'm gonna have to work a lot and I'm gonna be stuck alone in that house feeling like shit. But in the end, I have to learn how to be alone. I've been watching this this kind of this life coach, popular writer. His name's Eckhart Tolle, and his wife, who I didn't even know he is married to. It's an Asian woman named Kim Herb or something, I think, like that. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. But anyway, the second one was a pretty good relationship. I hate to say that, I just wasn't as attracted to her. It's sad because she was really kind, I feel like, and in the end, she helped me resolve a lot of my despair with my first relationship. To be honest, and I give her great thankfulness for her, and that's why I kept her in my life for so long before we kind of had a fallout. And the third one, she probably loved me the most, and the sad thing is I didn't love her back, and I tried it. And I have to tell people, you kind of have to be attracted to the person. It doesn't matter how much you love them. I just felt resentful being with her. I brought her over here when he brought Joanne over, another Korean international lady, and I tried to keep it going, but in the end, I found myself more depressed. She was trying. In the end, it was a lot of pressure. Again, I didn't want to change my life. I wanted to keep doing my creative work, and she had to work a shitty job, and I just became more resentful. And in the end, I had to let her go. It didn't matter how much she loved me. She kind of realized that. And I actually cried because she wrote this book that kind of describes everything. I don't remember what she said, but something kind of set me off because I realized, wow, I fucked up. Here, I can't even be happy with someone that loves me. And it's as much as probably anyone could. And that's why the second one was so jealous of it, because she knew she couldn't love as hard. But in the end, that was, I guess, it just had to go. Sometimes you just have to face the dark path. And the fourth one, which was probably last year, it was a person that was struggling with a drug addiction and the whole shebang of mental health issues, cutting, uh, bulimia, and, like, of course, drug addiction, which I try to clean her out of it. In the end, I try to save her. And in the end, I kind of realized I can't save anyone. I have to save myself. The irony is it got my brother really upset. It kind of got me upset, but for some reason I could tolerate it. I don't know why. I just felt like she's a sick person. She's giving me a sense of wholeness, a purpose. So in the end, blah, blah, blah. But in the end, she ended up reaching out to me like maybe 3 weeks ago, and it was fine talking. I didn't know what the heck was up. I felt like the reality I was still being used. Deep down, she still loves her ex. She's still gonna go back to the guy that raped her, abused her, supposedly, left her alone in that household to suffer, even though they cried about it. But in the end, I guess some people just wanna. That was her longest relationship for 20 years. She also has a codependency issue, and my brother, I'm probably codependent with him. That's why I can't separate from him, and it's so difficult. And when we date, it messes up the whole pattern. So anyway, aside from those lessons of my relationship, I guess I've been doing a lot of thinking. Deep down, I realized after watching that video is about loneliness, and honestly, I think that's why my weekends have been horribly on me because I feel lonely, and I've been doing, and after blocking all these people out of my life, it only reminds me of that, and sometimes doing the creative stuff just isn't enough, man. I just need to go out. I want to make more friends. I guess in the end, we did a video about feeling lonely and want to make friends, but in the end, I want to make friends, and I think I need to. So what can I do about this? So after watching that Kim Herb special about loneliness, and she is kind of getting this girl going, she got mad that she actually stepped down because the girl was kind of alluding that she feels alone but doesn't want to be alone. And same with the guy, and she kind of said, why do you need a man to feel whole? In the end, she's right. Why do I need a woman to feel whole? And they always say that it's not you can't go in a relationship for feeling a sense of wholeness. You both have to build. I saw this post about relationships where two people are both codependent. That's like 0 plus 0, which is a 0, and where one is codependent on each other, so that's 1 plus 1, and that equals 2. But one that's interdependent, that equals 1 plus 1 is like 11. I don't know if that makes any sense, but basically, both people have to stand on their own in order to be in a successful relationship. And that's probably why I've been having a terrible time in relationships because I still have trust issues. I don't want to delve deep into it. From my experiences, I know people can lie, and my sense of what holds me back in relationship is what's the point of giving your all, spending your all when the person can just cheat on you or just leave you anyway. So I'm mulling over that, and that's something that I always feel like I'm never gonna feel comfortable in. And I know I have the abandonment rejection issues, and I'll be honest, I don't think it's as bad. I feel like my first was the very, very worst, but when it came to the second, after the second, it was more like a two take kind of tango where we're dealing with our own kind of childhood issues. So, but I guess it got me thinking, like I know my friends trying to set me up with women, and I was kind of hesitant because in the end, I need to be attracted to that person. It can't just be like happen randomly. Um, so, but I thought about all my relationships and I feel like a big ass failure in them. And even though I feel lonely, I can't seem to develop that kind of confidence in myself where I can successfully in a relationship. And in my viewpoint of what a man is someone that works and can take care of himself and support the person. But it conflicts because again, I'm a creative person and the stuff I do, CAD stories, the piano, the art, the server comp, the computer services, it's all for free. And it's sadly a lot of my confidence relates to money, which I don't make anyway. So I have no confidence there. And when I go out to meet people, they ask what I do. I feel ashamed. I don't even tell them. I do allude that I'm an interviewer, but in the end, I can't tell them, hey, this is my business. I'm confident in this. I know it's going to be something because in the end, those 15 view count shows me that I'm a failure again. Maybe I do too much. I mean, I do piano, I do art, I do uh, uh, computer technician, graphic design, all these conglomerate stuff. Maybe I got to focus on one thing. But granted, I know I'm a very talented guy. I think that's probably, and I guess I can say I do have some intelligence, even though some people comment I don't feel that intelligent. Maybe emotionally intelligent. I'm not. I don't know. Someone says that I could read them well, but that's why they do that. It depends when it comes to uh, it's like an autistic Asperger's. I don't know. I'm trying to learn how to listen, try to not take things as offense like I did with that guy where I felt like I had to start all over. But anyway, I know I have to learn to stand alone on my own in order to be happy in a relationship. So what I've been doing is I reached out to a therapist finally, and I'll tell you this: the Grow Beyond Words is a great website, but out of those 10 people in Minnesota that they recommend for adoptee competent therapists, none of them really accepted Medicare, which was a problem. They don't even accept health insurance. And I think there's probably some legal issue with that because you have to be licensed in order to get to be funded by Medica to pay for their service. And the thing is, they don't do a good job at that. So there's a lot of people that kind of drop me as a client because I'm on it. And I'm gonna say this: even though I've been working full time, a lot of it's fear because in the end, I'll be honest, I'll be upfront. I'm on disability too. I feel like I don't wanna make it as a proud thing because in the end, I'm not proud. I have food stamps and I'm thinking I should be able to function to work. I should be this kind of I should be this person that provides for society and not be a leech to society. I should have my own freedom. And the thing is, it's like first world issues. I live in a great home provided by my dad, who gave me all this stuff. Yet I don't like doing everything for him. I feel like I want to go free and do my own thing. And I was fighting about being a good son. And I've been like this life coach been telling me I have to stop victimizing myself. I have to choose to be a good son and do all these things, even though at that point I'd rather just do my own thing. But so what I'm going to be doing about that is I finally found an adoptee therapist. She's an Indian therapist in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So that's going to happen tomorrow, and we'll see what goes there. Secondly, my brother's been studying for their A+ certification. And the reason why is I kind of fear is when I go out and working on my own, I'm afraid that he's going to feel lonely too. So that's why I've been kind of pushing him to do this computer stuff. I don't know if he's really interested in it. I mean, he must be because he's been studying, and even though he uh, failed like 4 times, it's not making him quit. So I give him credit for doing that. And he also wants to do piano tuning, which is good because deep down, I was thinking, wow, my brother's content here. He's fine, and maybe he's more evolved with himself because he doesn't have these lack of confidence. He doesn't. I mean, maybe he experiences loneliness and suicidality. I think it was a month ago, which I'll have him speak a little bit soon. But anyway, the second thing I'm going to be doing is I'm working on my resume. I'm going to tighten it up and my portfolio website. So basically, I'm putting everything, all these videos, stuff on hold, especially CAD stories, because right now it's not making me fulfilled. And when I work on it, I just don't want to do it, especially on weekends. I rather just be around people, go out. And I guess I'm not taking the chances because there's people that I could do game night with. So I should do that. And now that we have the COVID tests or the COVID vaccine that we got last week, we got 1 more week. So next week on Monday, we'll be going to the gym. So it'll get me going. I'll get out of this kind of rut, this hole I've been in. And thirdly, I'm going to be looking for jobs pretty quick here because my brother's probably going to be taking the test in a little less than 2 weeks, probably just a week and a half. And I guess we'll be parting separate ways. I mean, I want him to work with me, but in the end, maybe I have to go alone because, I mean, I was okay when I worked at DRC by myself. I managed for 5 years, and I guess I was feeling depressed about that because I saw a post about there's this girl. I was a team lead, and this girl I did test scoring, and she wrote a really nice letter saying I was a really good team lead. We all were, and even though my boss didn't like me because I couldn't keep up with my bin, I didn't really get the math part. But for some reason, we were late 2019, and they didn't want me back, and they don't ever want me back. So I guess I feel like a failure. And when I end up working at the bar, being yelled at by this mad black woman, we call her nicely Tuna because she's black, like a black cat that my brother used to own that he called it. It's probably kind of racist with that, but anyway, she's a horrible lady. She yelled at me, and when I was like cleaning the grills, I was thinking, wow. And also kind of painting it for my aunt's place, even though I guess I'm glad we did it. It wasn't enjoyable for me, so that's why I'm kind of choosing. I'm cutting my losses and choosing what I feel like I could be better in. I just rather do an office job, do computer work like I did at Best Buy, and hopefully when I talk to my therapist and get a job, I can actually feel better. So now this comes to the question. I'm doing everything externally to feel better. It's still not internally. So deep down, it doesn't matter if I find freedom, find a job, find a lot of money, or make money, find a relationship. In the end, it still has to come internally. So in the end, maybe my brother's winning there. So I guess that's all I have to say. So I know I talk like a lot. Was there any things that you like to add about what I said, Travis?
Not really.
Okay. So I think that's it. So thanks again for watching this Beyond Bipolar blog. Again, this is more about my perspective of what things going on here, and I hope you guys have a good one. I think I appreciate everyone that reached out to me. I mean, I may continue CAD stories. Maybe I just needed those friends to tell me that I'm doing a good job. Like someone wrote that I'm very empathetic. I have a lot of talent, and I'm very good at getting people's stories out there. So that made me feel good about myself. And there's a lot of people that reached out to me saying if I'm okay, giving me these resources for like life coaches and stuff. And I really appreciate that. And this is a really serious video. I guess these are my true feelings. I'm kind of in the point between depressed and okay. I mean, it weighs back and forth. It's not like I'm this. Even though I've been suicidal, I had suicidal thoughts. I don't think it's an emergency to the point that I have to go to the doctor. And with that, I actually reached out to my psychiatrist, and I was telling my Korean adoptee friend, she recommends my brother for going on meds because in the end he's stable. And because of that, I feel like even if I try to do these stuff for myself, and I'm still experiencing this sense of unfulfillment, feeling suicidal especially, I will probably just try a different med. Right now I'm on 0.5 sertraline, which is antidepressant. I guess I could probably go up. I don't know what. I messaged my psychiatrist today, but he didn't reply. But I know I could go a lot higher, so I'll just try that. And with all these changes, I've been just depressed and anxious. I don't know what's gonna happen with me. So in the end, I appreciate all your support. I hope maybe some people could relate to this. I'm hanging in there. I hope you guys are hanging in there, and I hope you have a good one. Okay, bye.